waiting for the High Court to get underway at 9:30 this morning. Good morning, Chriselda.
Good morning, Yeben.
Just tell us what is expected today, and now we're going to start at 9:30 as well.
Well, we're definitely going to start at 9:30 once again this morning, Yeben. Well, just as you were starting the show, Oscar Pistorius was walking into this courtroom flanked by his family, looking very composed, a far cry from the emotional, drained Oscar Pistorius, who we saw yesterday after and also during he was listening to the testimony of the pathologist who conducted the post-mortem on Reeva Steenkamp, Professor Gert Saayman. So we're really expecting another emotional day in court today. Oscar Pistorius looking very composed as he walked inside the court today. We're expecting the cross-examination to continue this morning of the pathologist.
Just tell us about that emotional day. There were lots of reports about him breaking down and some people say throwing up in court. Is that accurate?
If you could kindly repeat it, please, Yeben.
Just take us through the range of emotions that he went through yesterday. Some people say that he broke down several times. Of course, we weren't allowed to see the footage in court. Just tell us about the extent of the emotional scenario that he went through yesterday.
Well, inside the court, Yeben, you will remember, first of all, there was an objection by the pathologist for the testimony to be live on television. Basically, what the pathologist was saying is that he thought that it really basically would be in bad taste for it to be beamed live on television. Out of respect, that should not happen, out of respect for Reeva Steenkamp and also out of respect for the family, as we did expect graphic details to come from that testimony, because as you heard following the reports that were given, that there was really graphic details of the extent of the damage that the bullets did to Reeva Steenkamp. So basically, while Oscar Pistorius was listening to that and we were looking at him, we were not allowed to tweet about the testimony at the time. So our focus very much was between the testimony and the emotions that Oscar Pistorius was showing during the testimony. I tell you, Oscar Pistorius could not contain himself to such an extent that court officials had to bring a bucket in order for him to basically gasp inside there. He started vomiting as well, and his family seemed very concerned about his condition yesterday. And so did some of the Steenkamp family that was here, the Myers family as well. You know, the Myers family are the family that Reeva Steenkamp was staying with in Johannesburg. So it was a hive of emotions that was taking place inside the court yesterday, such that the Judge Masipa, had to intervene to ask Oscar Pistorius if he was okay.
Chriselda, just tell us about the media ban yesterday. I think, what was the response from all local and international media on yesterday's specific ban?
Yeah, and as we report on this case, as it's of international interest, we have a responsibility, to report responsibly about this case as we would in any other case involving murder or whatever other crime it is that has been committed. But because of the sensitive nature of this case and the interest, the massive interest that it has really drawn around the world, a lot of media that I spoke to were very concerned about the fact that we were not able to take it live, while others seem to understand, after listening to the testimony of Professor Gert Saayman, that it really would have been in bad taste to broadcast it live on television because of the graphic nature of the details that the court basically heard yesterday. So while there was disappointment, there was also an understanding that this could not be done because of the sensitive nature and the graphic details that we heard in court yesterday. But there were many others who raised issues about why it was that we were not allowed to even tweet about what the pathologist was saying, yet there were incidents such as Marikana, where we saw those images on South African television where the miners were killed and nobody said anything about not showing those graphic details on television. So there was a lot of talk amongst journalists yesterday about why this case in particular should not be shown live. Why should the nation and the world at large not hear what the pathologist who conducted the post-mortem on Reeva Steenkamp have to say?
Finally, Chriselda, and media interest, international and local, it's not waning at all, is it?
Well, it definitely still is massive in South Africa, as expected, and around the world. But what we're sensing at the moment is that from the international media, you've still got two other very big stories that are dominating world headlines, including the situation in Crimea, as well as the missing Malaysian airline. So for the international media at the moment, it's a bit of a dice between Oscar Pistorius, the missing airline, and the ongoing situation in Crimea. But here in South Africa, I can tell you every single media house in South Africa is still leading with this story, but of course also putting attention on the devastating floods in some parts of the country. So I wouldn't say that it's dwindling amongst the international media, but they're really trying to juggle between the Oscar Pistorius trial and other massive stories that are in the international stage at the moment.
Chriselda, thank you very much this morning. Chriselda Lewis live from the High Court in the capital, of course, where the